What is up, Washington football? Maniacs, Commanders, Redskins fans. Good day, good morning to everybody. Of course, I'm recording this in the morning, so that's why I'm saying it. You may not watch it until the afternoon or evening or before you go to bed at night, and that is fine. We are happy for you to join us. Of course, this channel is dedicated to news and commentary for your Washington football team. So if you're into that, please make sure that you subscribe to the channel. And when you do, also make sure you hit that notification bell so you won't miss any other video releases. That being said, what is Adam Peters' plan? Is he about ready to cook in the offseason? That seems to be the phrase that Washington fans love to say, that Adam Peters is about to cook. Why do we say that? Well, of course, he did such a great job in the offseason last year, bringing in the correct group of guys needed in order to have the season that they had. You know, going from 4-13 to 12-5, that is an outstanding feat. So, what is Adam Peters going to do for the Washington Commanders in this offseason? Well, of course, a lot of us have been speculating about big names around the league who either want to be traded or is going to be let go by their team, free agents, uh, whoever it is. We've talked about Myles Garrett. There's been talk about it really, I joked about this on social media, but it really is true. It seems that if there are any potential free agents out there, big name guys, either free agents or guys who just want to straight up be traded, the Washington Commanders are connected to them. Now, it used to be years ago that was kind of the same deal, right? Like, because Dan Snyder in his earlier days as the Redskins owner was notorious for wanting to go out and sign big name guys, but it wasn't just signing guys. Honestly, it wasn't even signing guys in their prime at all. It was more or less like signing just the big names, Deion Sanders, Bruce Smith, guys like that. And it didn't really work out that well. Now, fast forward to present day, there's a different reason why that the Commanders are connected, not hooked, but connected to all of these big name guys who want to be either traded or free agents to be. And that's because that basically football players want to come to Washington now. Washington is a desired destination for a player to come and play because of the ownership. The ownership is light years ahead and different, and just a complete 180 from what we had before with the Snyders. The front office, the coaching staff, but most importantly, out of all of that, well, if you're on defense or offense, you want to come and play with Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels is the guy, and they recognize he is going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league, so they want to be able to go and play for this guy. They want to win championships with this guy. And so when you have the turnaround like we had, players around the league, they recognize that, and they trust that, and they believe in that, and they want to be a part of it because they realize something special is being built in the nation's capital. Now, this week we've already heard one guy who had been tied to the Washington Commanders for I don't know how long, T. Higgins. Everybody felt, oh, we need to get T. Higgins. That was the biggest thing during the season when, we need help for Terry McLaurin, and so we need to hire, or we need to sign T. Higgins. Well, T. Higgins has been franchised by the Cincinnati Bengals. So that's probably going to be out for the Washington Commanders. I seriously doubt that they're going to try to make a move, despite that. I don't think they want to give up 2 number ones for T. Higgins. So you're probably looking at T. Higgins being out for the Commanders, at least this year. So who do we have left? Cooper Kupp. It's a possibility. He's had injuries. So he really comes down to, a player that if you can sign him with a modest deal, then bring him in. Because if he's healthy, he can be a big weapon for Jaden Daniels. Same with Deebo Samuel. There's talk of Deebo Samuel possibly being cut loose from the 49ers. Maybe not cut loose, maybe sorry here. It's difficult to talk when you have your cute kitty cat in the way, right? So Deebo Samuels, I mean, I it really depends on him. I would love Deebo to be on the team. We'll see. Those two guys, it seems like both of those guys have had some injuries, so it remains to be seen on that. Again, I think modest. You're not going to break the bank. If they're willing to have kind of like what a lot of players did this year for the Commanders, 1-year deals, prove it deals. If they can do that, then okay, I'm all for bringing those guys in. But here's the thing that I think you're going to learn with Adam Peters this offseason. I think honestly, big signings, I think, are still going to happen on the defensive side of the football. And that is because we need help on the defensive side of the football. Yes, Terry McLaurin needs some help, but guess what? We had some big games out of Diami Brown. We had some big games out of Omlad Zacchaeus. We had big games out of Noah Brown. So, yes, it's important to get another, 1B. Terry McLaurin's number 1, but maybe a 1B wide receiver, definitely a full-fledged number 2 receiver. But the defense is where we need some help. We need to be able to stop the run. And of course, we need to continue to build the secondary, which greatly improved with Mikey Sandstriel. Of course, Marshawn Lattimore coming over mid-season. So, he's building something in the secondary. He's got things going there, but we need some help on that defensive front. Now, I'm not sure if you're going to see Deron Payne or Jonathan Allen back next year. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But I think that there's still a chance that we land somebody like Myles Garrett. I think if there's any big name signing that Adam Peters is going to do, it's going to be on the defensive side, somebody like Myles Garrett. We'll see. Maybe he entices Micah Parsons. I don't know. I think that's a little less likely, but I do think that Micah wants to come over to the Commanders. I really do. I think he's probably seeing that Dallas, not such a hot destination to be right now. Schottenheimer, Brian Schottenheimer, he is a definitely a question mark. But then again, all of us guys were kind of like, Dan Quinn. It's like when you had these bright offensive minds and we needed a bright offensive mind and you brought in Dan Quinn. Well, we were wrong about that. So we may be wrong about Brian Schottenheimer as well. So, folks, overall, I think here's the plan. I think moving forward, I think you're going to have Adam Peters. He's going to be really looking at that defense. He wants to build a powerhouse defense. Dan Quinn does too. He's the defensive-minded coach, so he doesn't want his defense to suffer. he wants to be able to have a defense that's in the top 10. Top 5 would be great, but they need to continue to build there. I think you're going to see Adam Peters adding a lot more pieces, re-signing some pieces like Chin. I think you're going to see that. And moving forward, he's going to continue, of course, to build through the draft. And he's probably going to find some guys in the draft. And, Sandstrill turned out to be a great draft pick for us. So, hey, let's see what he does. But if I had to guess, any of these top wide receiver names that you're hearing out there, I'm going to say that there's going to be an unlikely chance they get signed to the Commanders unless, of course, they are signed with like 1-year deals, very modest deals. Maybe depending on their performance, they have some incentives and stuff like that. But so be looking for bigger signings on the defense, not so big signings on the offense. Folks, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.